Accessing.
When TV and radio collide.
Love it.
Wow. This is what you get. You're listening to JJ and Alex, presented by G2G Bars.
Don't touch that dial.
On 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Okay, everybody, welcome back. JJ and Alex, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Alex Kirry, Jeremiah Jensen. If you missed our conversation with Zach Blair, who's going to be playing in the U.S. Open, you can go back, take a listen to any of our podcast segments. Take a listen all the way across the entire station as well. Go to KSLSports.com, click on the podcast page or on the podcast tab there. You can listen right there or wherever you find your fine podcasts. So there you go. Our show brought to you by G2G Bars. All natural ingredients and no preservatives. Make the G2G Bar the perfect protein bar. Give it a shot today. Let's kick off the hours we always do with the cut. Let's get into some of the additions that Utah has announced today, some of the big signings that they've got for their 2026 class. Looking to the future for that football program. Let's jump in right here.
It's time for the biggest story of the day. This is what made the cut with JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
This cut this hour brought to you by an incredible selection of Kia, Subaru, Chevy, Jeep, Dodge, or Ram, and now Mitsubishi in the family of the Doug Smith family of dealerships. So there you go. Doug Smith, nobody knows cars like Doug. JJ, additions to Utah's football program. This is it's always hard because when you see a guy, hey man, the Utes land one of the biggest commitments for the class of 2026. But that's the case. Michael Johnson, quarterback for the 2026 class. He was a big pickup for Jason Beck last month. He's a junior. He's as a junior this last year, he completed 178 of 300 passes for 2,700 yards, 24 touchdowns. On the ground also ran for 620 yards, but he also had committed previously to Mississippi State. He had offers from Cincinnati, Purdue, UCF. He's a three-star athlete. You never know how these things are going to turn out. You never know what the reality is of who these guys are going to be. I don't know what the next iteration of the quarterback room at Utah looks like because I know that for the next 2 years, you're likely going to get, unless you see a transfer, JJ is never out of the question for somebody. But Devin Dampier is poised to be potentially the starting quarterback for the next 2 years. I think that's probably what his plan would be, right?
I absolutely think that's the case.
Unless he has such a killer junior year that he goes, I'm going to try my hand at the draft this next year, but I doubt it. It's so weird to think about because when you see them adding this Michael Johnson character, and then you've also got a few other quarterbacks in that quarterback room, of course. The Isaac Wilson future is very murky for me. And I don't mean to bring this Michael Johnson signing up as is Isaac Wilson ever going to play again? But, JJ, is Isaac Wilson going to be the starting quarterback at Utah?
I still have hope that that's going to be the case. Yeah, why not? There's no reason to think otherwise. I think when you look at this, this is somebody who's 2 years behind in Isaac in class. So there's some development that's going to be left for a freshman. And in this world today, it goes year to year, right? I can't take much stock at a high school kid. And the fact that they offered a high school kid and are bringing in a high school kid says a lot about the high school kid. So congratulations to that kid. He's obviously a good talent. And they're invested in him, and they want him to succeed. And they're going to bring him in and develop him. But how many kids today are comfortable waiting for that development to take place, right? So maybe, hopefully, he is for them. But if you're looking at the depth chart and the way things shake out, I mean, let's assume Isaac Wilson redshirts this year. So next year, meaning 2026, you'd have a senior Devin Dampier and a redshirt sophomore in Isaac Wilson. Now you'd have Isaac with another year to develop. He could potentially have 2 years as the Utah's quarterback once Dampier graduates. So I still see a path for Isaac to be the starter, to overcome the challenges of his freshman year, to develop, to get better, to get bigger, stronger, faster, all those things, and still have a great college football career. You had an opportunity as a freshman. It didn't work out. and they had to go get a transfer to come in and do the job. But that's okay. It gives you time to develop. I think there's rarely a situation now. If you look around, where's the true freshman coming in now in the Power Four that's just wowing everybody? Arch Manning didn't start as a true freshman, right? A generational talent at quarterback. At least we were told.
What year is he this year? Is he a sophomore? I mean, junior? I
think he would be a redshirt sophomore.
Redshirt
right?
sophomore? But so in the end, though, I get your point. The point's well taken, which is I don't know what the best version of how these teams get players now. I don't know the best version of where to find these guys.
It's not like it was 10 years ago when we were so fixated on who's the high school quarterback they're bringing in. Oh, this is going to be the next guy.
From a fan base,
you have no idea how it's going to work out with a kid that you're getting at high school. But I do think it's important that you have that mix of transfer portal and high school quarterbacks so that you have both depth and depth of class in your quarterback room. You don't want to have just one guy and then like the next year the cupboard's bare again. You don't want to have to completely overhaul and overturn your quarterback room each and every year. You want to be developing guys in your system so that when their time has come, they're ready to go. You don't see that as much anymore. I think that's a problem for a lot of programs.
I do think that there's an interesting thing that comes out of this, which is you have guys who sign and they come to that school. And in the case of not just guys coming to the school, I mean, the reality is maybe this handful of guys that you see, you got the commitment from Michael Johnson. You had the running back who also committed. I think the running back, 3-star running back, LaMarcus Bell, who was an Oregon State commit. You notice that Johnson was a Mississippi State commit. These allegiances, by the way, could change totally before the 2026 season as well.
Right.
So here's the question. Out of these three guys, cornerback Major Hitchin, who committed to Utah football, these guys all took their official visit, and then they all committed. Utah gets Michael Johnson at quarterback, LaMarcus Bell at running back, and a cornerback in Major Hitchin who comes to, but the numbers say that more than one out of three will make a commitment and then before they even come to the school and set foot on campus as a student or a student athlete, they don't even attend there. And that's the reality of what these guys are dealing with. And by the way, Utah is now limited in their roster numbers.
Yes.
So maybe they get to the point where a guy decommits from a big school and then they get a 4 or 5-star commit. What do you do with these kids now that you've already gotten the commitment from? Are you supposed to honor those regardless?
Not until they've signed on the dotted line.
I don't know how it works.
Have they signed their national letter of intent?
Is that even a thing anymore?
You wonder.
Remember that was like second Tuesday of February. Wasn't that what it was?
Oh, yeah. No, signing day was a big deal. There was no transfer portal. Guys that transferred were red flagged.
Oh, for sure.
Why are you transferring? What's the problem?
And coaches would be like, screw you, buddy. You're going to go to another school. Good luck. I'll tell everybody how terrible of a person you are.
And you couldn't transfer within the conference.
No.
So they would transfer and go away somewhere else, and you never hear from them again. That's not the case anymore.
Yeah.
So it's different. It's just different, and I don't know what to make of it.
I'm going to be honest.
I don't know how fans feel about it. Do you get excited about a 2026 quarterback recruit like you did in 2016? Probably not.
That's what I was going to say. I don't think that that's the case. You see the guy with the mirror, helmet on with the mirror shield on it.
Yeah.
And it's like the background. I mean, we saw one recently from the kid at Davis, Bessinger, right?
Yeah. It's going to Boise State.
Going to Boise State, and they showed him at the photo shoot, and you're like, these photo shoots are terrible ideas in my mind because you send it out. How much of your fan base goes, we got him? Which kid? That kid out of Kaysville. We got him. You know what I mean? And then you go,
I love your Boise State fan impression.
We got him. I will say this, and this is on the record, okay? Not just because it's on the radio. Boise State fans annoy the absolute crud out of me. I think it might be the most annoying fan base in all of college sports. At me.
Send
Boise
your
State
emails to akirry@ksl.com.
My name is Alex. Just hit me up, anapolis@ksl.com. But what I'm saying is that I think that you're right. We take all these media pictures. We did all this stuff to try to blow this thing up, and it can change in 20 minutes. And if I am a fan of a program, I actually look at the damage, not damaged goods, but I actually look at the disadvantage one for unless it's a 5-star, highly touted, and even then I look sideways at it. Give me a second-year transfer out of a bigger school to come in to be the quarterback over a high school kid. Sorry, high school kid. Sorry, parents. I'm just telling you, if you're talking about immediate success or just somebody that I feel like if you're a recruiter, you want to roll the dice on somebody, you don't want it to be a high school senior. You want it to be a guy who was battling for reps, has already been through a spring practice up at Oregon, has already been in the trenches during two-a-days in the SEC at a small, or at Mississippi State or something. You know what I mean?
And that's what a lot of schools are doing right now. And I was at some sevens tournaments this weekend, and there's a lot of good quarterbacks in the state. How many of them have Division I offers?
Probably.
You mentioned one.
Yeah.
I can't name another.
That's crazy. Because
it's not because the talent isn't good. It's because there's no opportunities.
Roster size is shrunk. Transfer portal is so much easier to get people out of. You don't want to roll the dice.
Bouncing around to different schools instead of, and these colleges are like, I got to have somebody to win now. We got to get somebody in the portal. Got to get somebody in the portal. And more often than not, they're rolling the dice on a guy that's not going to deliver. Look at UCF last year. What a disaster their portal additions were. Their coach left. Like, it was a disaster. They went and got the guy from Arkansas. They paid him 7 figures. He was third-string quarterback by the time they played Utah at the end of the year. They were on their fourth-string guy, and he outperformed the other 3. There were all the transfers that they pulled in. Like, just because somebody was somewhere doesn't mean he's good. But that's what they're doing right now. That's all they're banking on. And to be honest, it's kind of lazy. It's really lazy. A lot of these college football programs are being lazy right now. They're not doing their homework. Oh, we can go. Hey, one of the recruiters, one assistant coaches. Hey, we can go get the guy that was at Florida last year. He was on their depth chart.
Oh yeah,
we can go
pretty
get
good.
him. I can bring him in here.
Yeah, he had a DUI, but we can probably bury that.
Instead of going out and getting a quarterback in high school that still has room to grow and improve without establishing a relationship with that kid or the family, those things they're still doing it. I'm not saying they're not, but to much lesser degree. They don't have time. I saw BYU coaches down at BYU this week and ran into some of them. They were great, but they're on a tight schedule.
Oh my goodness,
they got a lot going on. They don't have as much time to just walk around and go watch kids.
Yeah,
they don't have the time.
What? At least they made those roster cuts when they did. Oof. Could you imagine being those other schools in the Big 12 this week going, Mike, can I talk to you? You at home right now? Stay there.
They're not going to do it right now. They're going to do it in August.
Oh, they're going to make them play?
100%. They're going to bring them to camp. Let them play it out. Look, that's the mentality of the coaches. It's like, bring in the competition. That's what they're worried about. They're trying to win, so they're going to try to bring all these kids in. Let's bring them all in and compete. Let's let the depth chart sort itself out. And they will. And then the week before the game start, they got to make a tough decision and say, dude, sorry, we love you. We brought you here. We recruited you because we liked you, but we don't have room for you anymore because of this whole situation. We got to say goodbye to you.
Big signing also, like I said, in the running back room for Coach Mark Atawaya. They get LaMarcus Bell out of Lake Oswego High School in Oregon.
And out of the 3, he has the chance to play this the quickest.
LaMarcus Bell, awesome running back name, right? Like, I would assume he was playing running back.
I feel like he's not the first LaMarcus Bell to play running back in the history of football.
3-star kid, though, and again, like I said, already committed to Oregon State. Had visits planned, actually, to Cal and to BYU. Baggett, he's already marked it down that he's going to be playing ball at the University of Utah. So there you go. So that's a massive deal there. So
there's another example. Mike Mitchell last year comes in. Everyone was excited about it. How'd that go?
That whole running back room was a massive question mark.
He's already somewhere else. He's at Arizona.
That's correct. That's bonkers. He
got a shot. He got a chance as a freshman.
Yeah.
Didn't do anything with it.
Did he fumble once too? And then it's like, oh no, you'll never get it back.
I don't think he had a run over 5 yards all year.
Boo. After he was the guy after fall camp, remember that?
We were hearing all kinds of buzz. Look out for Mike Mitchell.
I just,
it just goes. It's just I'm not trying to. He's probably going to do fine, and in most situations he wouldn't be rushed out there as a freshman, or he would have time to work his way back through and earn that time. But now these kids just, if it doesn't go their way, they bounce.
Yeah.
Doesn't go their way, they bounce.
Yeah.
Then they go somewhere else and struggle. But they were at the previous school before, so the other school takes them. Of course Arizona's going to take Utah's running back.
Yeah. Right. Let's take a break. We'll come back. I still have a tab open with those gold nose hair trimmers, 24 karat gold nose hair trimmers.
Do it.
Well, I was gonna say I didn't close the tab. It keeps speaking.
Father's Day gift to yourself.
Do I send this link to my wife?
Breathe right. Breathe easier.
I would get made fun of. Are these gold
nose
nose trimmers? I mean, you need
$200 nose hair trimmers.
I mean, you need the nose trimmer, but gold?
$200?
No, it's a lot. That's a lot.
You're going to leave it open, aren't you? You're tempted, aren't you?
Give Dad that special gift this year with gold nose trimmers. The Royal Company. $214? Jeez. All right. Let's take a break.
That's that's impressive marketing.
It's an investment because it holds its value.
It's an investment because it holds its value.
All right? It's just going to go up in price. What do you have over there? Well, I invested in some precious metals. Is that a nose hair trimmer? Yeah.
Could I interest you in some 2025 gold nose trimmers? 20 years from now, you're trying to sell them on eBay.
No, the worst is when they dig up.
Think of it as an investment.
When they dig in a million years, when they dig up my house and they go, "Oh, well, we found some human remains here. What is this?" We found that the average Homo sapien back in 2025 was trimming their nose hairs with these gold babies.
I think it depreciates about 70% once you use them.
Oh, come on. No, the gold stays on, man. The gold stays. You can't diminish it just because it goes up my nose. As soon as I said that, I realized it. All right, we'll come back. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We've got Bob Casper, Real Golf Radio. Bob, of course, is giving us that coverage from Oakmont in Pennsylvania. The U.S. Open firing up this week. The course conditions, what they do to make these courses, I think, what did Zach Blair say it? Some of us get our teeth kicked in on the course this week. We'll talk about how these courses prep the U.S. Open to get that signature scoring that is very, very close to par over a full weekend. So stay right here, 97.5 KSL Sports Zone.
Ladies and gentlemen, the biggest name.
You're locked into JJ and Alex. With the insight and analysis on the teams you can't live without. Presented by G2G Bars. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. This U.S. Open update is brought to you by Mountain Land Supply, Zions Bank, Black Desert Resort, Hoops Vision, and Siegfried and Jensen. And now, Real Golf Radio's Bob Casper.
Welcome back, everybody. JJ and Alex, 97.5 KSL Sports Zone. Head over to KSLSports.com. You can see all of the coverage across our entire family of the KSL Sports Zone, KSL Sports, all of our insiders, etc. You can download the podcast. You go to the KSL Sports page and click on the podcast button. You can listen to any of the shows all day long, or you can stream them on the YouTube channel as well. KSL Sports, the YouTube channel. You can stream JJ and I here live in studio. Joining us on the program live, he is Bob Casper, Real Golf Radio. He and Brian Taylor do a phenomenal job covering all these tournaments for us, and they're nice enough to dip in and to give us a little bit of a flavor of what's going on at these majors. And, of course, the U.S. Open returns to Oakmont, a classic location, a golf course that's been there since 1904 and it was built as just a fun side project I was reading about. Bob, a guy who was a steel magnate in the Pittsburgh area, said, I'm going to make a super hard course that no one is going to have fun playing. And that's, of course, what we tend to abuse our golfers with the U.S. Open. Welcome to the program.
Yeah, Oakmont is definitely what they call the toughest golf course. And now that, 10 times they've had USGA championships here, and so it's going to be an interesting test. I mean, Brian Taylor and I had a chance to play it a little over a month ago, and at the media day, and it's a difficult golf course, really difficult golf course with the rough being 5.5 inches long, and the greens being as fast as they are. It's going to be extremely difficult with with whoever is going to win the golf tournament, because they're going to have to get the ball in the fairway and they're going to have to get it on the greens.
Well, just to show how hard it is, Rory McIlroy said Tuesday that he shot an 81 with 2 birdies on the final 2 holes at Oakmont during a scouting trip to the course last week. And, of course, the last time, I think it was in 2016, the last time the Open was held there, he missed the cut. So for him, where's he at with where he's going? You know, obviously the thrill of the Masters, getting the career Grand Slam. Are you concerned about his state of mind this week as he's going into this what's going to be a really tough battle at the U.S. Open?
Yeah, I am concerned about his state of mind. You know, he was asked in his press conference today, you know, what's your 5-year plan now that you've won the career Grand Slam and you know, eclipsed that milestone? And he said, I don't know. I have no idea right now. And that's kind of telling. He said very similar things at the PGA Championship, that he's achieved all of his goals in the game now that he's got the career Grand Slam. And, you know, it's going to be interesting where he goes from here. He struggled with his driver since the PGA Championship, which was found non-conforming at the PGA, and he had to change. And he said he went home after missing the cut this last week and just figured out that basically he put his old ahead like his old driver in play and not a newer one. So it'll be interesting to see how he does and if he can get the ball in the fairway, because he's known as one of the longest, straightest drivers on tour.
It's interesting, Bob, too, because we were talking about how some courses are you know, play well to certain players, but it seems like this isn't a great course, on top of the fact that Rory might not necessarily be in the headspace right now where he's wanting to compete with the tops in the world, and yet at the same time, you've got guys who are fighting to get into the U.S. Open. This is always a very interesting tournament because of the people who are able to sneak in the qualifiers. And we just chatted last hour with Zach Blair, who got snuck in at the Monday qualifier there in Ohio last week. And so this is a huge tournament. And when you talk about the 5+ inches of rough that these guys are going to be hitting into and trying to hit out of, it's not just not forgiving. It's also a place that, you know, you start to even see some of the best golfers in the world get extremely frustrated with. Yeah,
they do. You know, the winners or the recent winners of the U.S. Open here had to have mostly hit about 70 to 75% of their fairways in over the 72 holes. And, you know, they've had to lead or be in the top 5 as far as greens and regulation, too. So ball strikers, getting the ball in position, and it starts with the driver. If you get the ball in the fairways, then you have a chance to maybe not necessarily attack the golf course, but more worry about just making a bunch of pars and trying to sneak one of those birdies in every once in a while. But Bob Ford, who was the professional here for a long time at Oakmont, he said if the golf course has moisture in it, then 5 under par is going to win. If it doesn't have moisture in it, then 5 over par will win. And so it looks like they've had moisture the last couple of days. They're going to have moisture Friday, Saturday, and Sunday again. So expect it to be, you know, even par, maybe 5 under par at the best. That's going to have a chance to win.
Nobody's playing better golf in the world than Scottie Scheffler. And he's the biggest pre-tournament favorite in a major since Tiger Woods in 2009. If he's to win this tournament, what does that mean? Where does that place him as far as where he's at in his career? And I just can't imagine, you know, the dominance that he's having right now. How would you compare it to a Tiger Woods during his prime?
Well, you know, we talked about Rory McIlroy when he won at the Masters this year, and could he clip off the Grand Slam after getting the career Grand Slam? Well, you know, Rory wasn't able to do it at the PGA Championship and didn't play very well. And Scottie now has 2 of the 4 majors. If he were to able to get this one, then he's only one step away of getting the career Grand Slam with an Open Championship. So, you know, if he were to win the U.S. Open, I think that's, you know, the next goal for him in wanting to get something done, and that is to get the career Grand Slam. We've got Jordan Spieth, who needs to get a PGA championship to get it done. And so it's going to be interesting to see. A lot of these younger guys are learning how to win, especially majors, early in their career. And this would be really interesting if he's able to get this one done. Now he's going to the Open Championship, and he's got a lot more in his future to be able to get that done.
I was reading an article this week about how this could be the last real hurrah. Not like he's retiring, and it's not like he's not going to play any more tournaments. But we don't see a ton of Phil Mickelson, of course, these days. But he's a guy who, of course, is already a legend in the game kind of during my time frame of watching golf and growing up and watching him do it, and he's been one of the best. The article that I read was like, hey, this might be his actual last good shot at actually competing in a tournament. What are your thoughts on him being able to kind of string something together for one last kind of go at maybe a leaderboard in the last couple of days?
Lefty is a guy that needs to get a U.S. Open to win the career Grand Slam. I don't think, especially at this golf course, I don't think he has a chance to be able to do that. We don't know how he's playing. He's become irrelevant as far as the game is concerned because nobody knows what he's doing, and he's been on live, and that's the unfortunate thing about those guys that move that direction is that they're not known. You see the PGA Tour players every week competing for championships and tradition and winning golf tournaments on the PGA Tour, and there's millions of viewers every week. Well, you might get 100,000 if you're lucky on one day with Live Golf, and a lot of guys like that. A lot of guys don't mind the opportunity they have there, the money they're making there, that kind of thing. But I find it very difficult to even think about Phil Mickelson having an opportunity this week. I think I would be very, very surprised.
And we talk about Scotty Scheffler and Rory McIlroy, and for good reason. But one of the great things about the U.S. Open is there's stories like Zach Blair, and we had Zach on the show earlier today. It's great to see him get there for a fourth time, and I don't think you see many people try to rip a 122-yard putt off the fairway into the in the green in a practice round, but he can do that. He got a little viral moment here today, but it was great to talk to him. Your thoughts on what he's been able to do, and the guys like Zach Blair who just continue to fight and claw and scratch and then get great opportunities like this at the U.S. Open.
Yeah, like you said, I think he's the last three at the same site. They're in Springfield, Ohio. But, last year he finished tied for 26th. He had a great U.S. Open last year at Pinehurst. And he's trying to continue to do better and better. And he's the typical journeyman right now. Hasn't won yet on the PGA Tour, but had a few opportunities where he's gotten close and lost in a couple playoffs. But Zach's a good player. It's fun to watch him play. He's a ball striker and he's a putter. So if he can be driving the ball in the fairway, when he gets on the greens, he's really, really good with the short stick.
Bob Casper joins us, Real Golf Radio. You can hear he and Brian Taylor on Saturday mornings breaking it down. Well, let's talk about the guys. Obviously, we chatted about Scotty Scheffler, and you talked about guys who you look at and they're like, hey, they want to get this win. But we've seen guys popping up on tour and finishing in the top fives and top tens. And what's that short list for you of guys who have the best shot if it's not Scotty Scheffler?
Well, of course, Rory. If Rory's driving the ball well, he's going to be right in the mix. You think of Colin Morikawa, you think of Ludwig Åberg, Sepp Straka. There's a lot of guys that could really, really play well this week. But a U.S. Open, the whole goal of the USGA is to make sure that every player in the field gets every club dirty in their bag, and including the one in between their ears, which they try to make this the toughest test in golf. And it's awesome to be able to see how these guys deal with the test that is given to them and how they're able to thrive or not in playing a U.S. Open championship.
Bob, we appreciate it. We'll chat with you in a couple of days here, and we'll be, I guess, probably getting to the end of the first day of play in round one at Oakmont for the U.S. Open. Bob Casper, as always, great insights. Nobody does it better than you guys, and being able to be out there and get eyes on that thing is awesome as well. So we appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out with us.
You bet. Appreciate it, guys.
There you go. Bob Casper, everybody. I'm trying to think of there's I don't know what the most historic places are. Oakmont is one of those places, though. That
Pinehurst comes to mind.
Yeah, Pinehurst number 2 last year.
Torrey Pines.
Yeah.
But it's among those.
The history at those places and the amount of times that the tournament has been played at those different places is kind of crazy. So
Pebble Beach.
All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. Hey, when we return, guess what we have? We're going to come around to our today's version of the top 10 game. Don't want to miss any of it. We'll see if JJ and Alex, our producer, won't embarrass themselves. So we'll get our first top 10 game of the week going right on the corner right here, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Your home for the best coverage of the Jazz, Utes, and Cougars is right here on The Zone. This is JJ and Alex, presented by G2G Bars on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Welcome back, everybody. JJ and Alex, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Thanks for hanging out with us, everybody. You can nominate the youth sports volunteer that you know for the Hercules Hero of the Week award. How do we do it? We roll out this website, kslsports.com/contest. You go there and nominate the youth sports volunteer in your neighborhood who does an awesome job with youth sports. Look, these are people that keep this thing going. Without them, we wouldn't be able to have our youth sports.
No doubt.
And if you want to nominate that person, JJ and I read the winners off every week on a Thursday, and we celebrate the efforts of those volunteers making an impact with the Hercules Hero of the Week award. You get a prize from Beehive Meals. You get a prize from Hercules First Federal Credit Union. $100 of a gift card for Hercules from Hercules Credit Union, and then $200 to Beehive Meals. Not bad. Just for actually, now that you think about it, that's actually way underpaid for the volunteer work that these moms are doing.
More than that.
When you think about it, it's just a little token of our appreciation. So we appreciate it. Our Hercules Hero of the Week award. JJ, we were talking about fathers, and we did the top Father's Day gifts. I've got all sorts of Father's themes this week because of Father's Day coming up on Sunday, okay? And so I've got a top 10 for you. These are the top 10. Okay. Top 10 movies with dad or father in the title. Okay? With dad or father in the title. Hold on. I gotta make sure that I get it all lined up here. I had all these ones that I'd sent, so we gotta make sure that we okay. Okay. You guys ready for this? You guys are gonna do terribly.
This is
Alex,
not gonna go well.
Come on. Dad or father, or daddy. It's another one. Okay, so I'll give you that hint. Okay, you guys ready for this?
Yeah.
All right. On your mark, get set, go.
Father of the Bride.
Ding.
Fatherhood.
Ding.
Father of the Bride 2.
Ding.
Father of the Bride 3. Daddy's Boy.
Wow. Hold on. What'd you say?
Daddy's Boy.
Daddy's Home.
Ding.
Daddy's Home 2. Oh. Dad. Oh, boy.
Yeah, I love how you're all.
Father Time.
Daddy Daycare.
Daddy Daycare.
Go.
Ding.
Good one. Daddy. Daddy something.
I just love all the times you're saying daddy right now.
I'm just guessing. I got nothing. This is a horrible top 10.
It is terrible.
There's some movie buff in the car right now cursing out me.
Oh, yeah.
JJ, you son! These are obvious.
Oh, my gosh.
Father Time.
Oh. You were just guessing if that was a movie?
Father or daddy or dad?
It just sounds funny, him yelling out, Daddy?
That was awful. That was a horrible experience.
Yeah. All right.
We got some.
Yeah, you did get a lot, actually. Hold on. So from this list, you guys got Daddy Daycare, Father of the Bride 2, Big Daddy, right?
Yeah.
Fatherhood, Daddy's Home.
And we got Daddy's Home 2.
Daddy's Home 2 was not on the list, though.
Should have been.
Daddy's Home, okay.
Might even be funnier than Daddy's Home.
Life with My Father, never heard of it.
Nope.
The Father.
I said that.
Did
I?
you?
I said the father multiple times.
I think you just said The Father of the Bride Part 4. Our Father the Devil was also number 10 on the
list. So I don't
list.
feel so bad now. We did pretty good.
Don't forget about number 9, and this one's a classic. Hey, set your timer to watch this one when you get home, Alex. It's gonna, and JJ will back me up on this. Ghost Dad. It's a great movie.
Ghost Dad.
Starring Bill Cosby. Okay, there you go.
Oh my gosh.
What a dumb theme, by the way. Ghost Dad. Do you remember the whole thing of that movie? I watched Ghost Dad in theaters. That's how freaking terrible my upbringing was. Thanks, Mom and Dad. I'm just kidding. I'm sure it was my choice. We're like, oh, Bill Cosby's funny. Let's go see Ghost Dad. Ghost Dad. Anyway. All right. So there you go.
What is the synopsis of this movie?
It's a great question.
What did Bill Cosby do in that movie besides?
I remember so the synopsis is Bill Cosby, widowed, single dad, who is fixated on the family's financial well-being.
Convicted rapist?
That's later. Spends all his time working to secure
Is that the sequel?
No, it's terrible. A crucial business deal that would put his accounts in black. However, this leaves his three children pining for attention after a fatal car accident. Now a ghost, he must clinch the deal from the afterlife to secure his children's futures. Along the way, he bonds with his children from beyond the grave.
Sorry I missed that one.
Yeah.
I'll watch it eventually.
Will you? I'm going to send, you know what? I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll buy it on Prime. I'll gift it to you. I'm going to send it to you. And then you have to watch it. And then it'll tell me if you've watched it or not. And you tell me what kind of movie
You have homework now. You have to watch Ghost Dad.
I love how they used to say stuff on the front of the movie. He's been walking through doors. He's been falling through floors. He's been going through a lot lately. He is still a dad. All right.
It probably did well at the box office because it was.
I don't know. I mean, it was Bill Cosby, but that is a stupid premise for anybody.
What year did that come out? 1980
something?
something?
Like 87 or 88.
He killed it back then. He was the man.
Yeah, it was. He did it. Yeah. You know what? We went down a weird rabbit hole seeing what Ghost Dad did at the box office. All right.
It's not good.
No.
Was that it? Is that the list?
That was.
Did we miss anything else?
No.
How many did we end up getting?
7 out of the 10.
Hey,
that was pretty good.
Yeah, not bad at all. And the ones we didn't get are weird. We tried to forget Bill Cosby, so you can excuse the Ghost Dad thing.
You guys missed Come to Daddy, which is a horror movie. And let me see, a horror comedy about a man who returns to his hometown after abandoning his father.
Horror or whore?
Horror! Stop it! You guys are bad people. All right.
What are we doing here?
Taking a break is what we're doing, bailing out of this.
Oh, boy.
Take a break here. We'll come back. More to go. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.